Hello, and thank you for joining me in this video where I'm going to just kind of explain to you guys the difference between your ego and your soul. Okay, a lot of you have come into the group wanting just a deeper understanding of yourself, higher self-awareness, knowledge of self, and so I decided to make this video to kind of give you guys an explanation on how you get to that level of having that knowledge of self. Okay, so you have to go through what is called an ego death. Okay, so some of you might recognize this as like a dark night of the soul or doing some sort of shadow healing, something like that, okay? But first of all, what is the ego? So what is the ego? Okay, the ego is your identity on this 3D plane, okay? It is how you see yourself, it is how others see you. And the problem with that is that, others can kind of put things into your subconscious mind about who you are, and you kind of carry that with you as your identity. Like, that is the whole issue, with needing to go through an ego death, okay? Because it is also your false sense of self, your false identity. Your soul is the most purest, unconditional part of you, okay, which is pure, unconditional love, joy, happiness. It does carry the frequency of, any past traumas from past lives and things like that. But in its essence, it is neutral, natural, loving energy. It is your connection to source, okay? So the soul, what I will say is this: you do have a level of your soul that exists which knows everything about this piece of soul that is in this human vessel. Okay, so when it comes to the ego and the soul, you as a human, you're the combination of both. So it's important to understand that knowledge of self requires knowledge of what you also are not. And that's why they say you have to unlearn and relearn, because there's a lot of things that you learn that actually isn't your authentic nature. It isn't you at your most purest, authentic form. Okay, so when it comes to the ego and shadow healing, or what they call the dark night of the soul, what happens is you get triggered by some sort of experience that happens in your life, with a soulmate, or just, some sort of circumstance that actually has you just kind of questioning yourself, questioning existence, questioning, just really having you in a deep thought of like, okay, why am I here, or why is this happening to me? For those of you who have experienced the dark night of the soul, or maybe haven't experienced it, it is something very soul wrenching. Okay, it takes you to like the deepest, darkest depths of your soul. Like, you will just feel like you hit rock bottom. You will feel, you may be going through a series of like depressive episodes, or just, I don't know, just questioning God, just begging for answers. But you know what? My experience was like that, okay? So everyone's experience doesn't have to be that way. I feel like those of you who are starting to awaken, you may not have to do that as deeply as those of us who awakened like years back, okay, when spirituality wasn't so widely accepted as it is now. So back then, when we went through our dark night of the soul, we still had a lot of heavy beliefs that was somewhat hard to let go of as we went through this transition process of trying to understand, why is this happening to me? Why do I feel this, connection with this person? Why, am I seeing these numbers? Why, it was just a period of time where I just kind of questioned, like, what is life? Because none of these weird things has ever happened to me before. So, like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, am I doing something right or wrong here? Like, what's going on? So, when you have your dark night of the soul, what happens is you begin to shed layers of yourself that isn't truly who you are. Okay, so those layers include fears, doubts, insecurities, and just false limiting beliefs about yourself, about life, about, whatever. It's literally the stripping away of like everything that you thought you were, everything that you thought life was. so on and so forth. Okay. Now, when it comes to shadow healing, you may or may not have already had your dark night of the soul. But when it comes to shadow healing, it really is just a process of going deep within yourself to examine, certain behavioral behavior, behavioral patterns. Okay, behavioral patterns, and just certain, like deep feelings. It really is an unmasking of this, facade that you put up to, the collective, your family, your friends, whoever. It really is just a moment of being true and real with yourself about your feelings, about, wherever you are in your life circumstances. So doing the shadow healing is really just a period of going within to help you understand the root cause of your feelings, what it means. Okay, a lot of times people try to run from their shadow side because they don't want to face the pain of whatever it is that they've been holding on to. And the truth is, you shouldn't run from the pain. You should actually allow yourself to sink deeply into the pain so that you can understand the root of it, understand what it's trying to teach you. There's actually something that the pain is wanting to teach you, okay? And that's actually how you begin to come more into knowledge of yourself, by understanding what isn't you, what doesn't work for you, and, all that good stuff. All right, so shadow healing is something that, we should often take the time to do, but more than likely, if you're not triggered, you probably won't go out of your way to do it, because sometimes you don't know that there's something deep going on within you until you are presented with that information by means of, being triggered or something like that. So, shadow healing is very much an important part of self-knowledge, self-awareness, because again, it uncovers the layers deep within you that you may have never known was even an issue. So this would be something like some inner child healing that you might need to do. Any sort of traumas that you experience in your lifetime. Just anything, even that society considers taboo, or something that's unacceptable, where there's the fear of rejection, abandonment, or just anything like that. All of that is stored in your ego. It's stored as part of your identity. So when you begin to shed those things that don't serve you, shed those false limiting beliefs, shed the the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, you come more in alignment with your authentic self. You become more fearless. You become more knowledgeable about who you truly are, what you truly want, and how you choose to assert yourself in this lifetime. So you actually step more into your creative power and begin to create who you want to be. Okay, so self-awareness is not expecting to necessarily uncover a specific magical being. I mean, you are a magical being, but what I'm saying is, like, you're not necessarily uncovering who you are. What you're doing is removing who you're not and then beginning to create who you want to be. Now, we do come to the earth with, a purpose, certain lessons and things like that that we are needing to learn. But aside from parts of existence that may be somewhat faded, we still have free will and we have creative abilities. Like, we chose the life that we wanted to live, and while we're here living that life, we choose what we want and don't want to experience in our reality. So you really are, when you're reaching that place of having knowledge of self, you're reaching that place of stepping into your God consciousness, of reaching that God consciousness, to where you're stepping now into your creative ability and you're beginning to, shape shift and create your reality the way that you want. You are stepping out, you are, following your purpose, doing things that make you happy, doing things that makes you feel just fulfilled within. Okay, so that's how you actually begin to get the knowledge of self. When you start tapping into those other aspects of yourself that, you know, may have been sort of hidden away because you're trying to live a life that someone else created for you. You're trying to follow someone else's rules. You're, you know, stuck on what someone else's beliefs are that they implanted into your mind. So when you unlearn all those things, when you heal all the things that has been keeping you just kind of just held back from your truth, that's when you step into knowledge of self. What I will also say is that in order to have knowledge of self, you need to understand your body. You need to understand that you are just like way more than just human, okay? You need to understand that you are energy and everything is energy. So you need to understand how that aligns with everything in your experiences, how your energy is at the epicenter of everything that you attract and experience in your reality. So if you want anything to change in your life, the change has to first come from within, okay? You need to have knowledge of your body when it's telling you that something is off balance, okay? When your energy is off balance, it will manifest as a physical symptom in your body. And a lot of the times, doctors, they don't know what the cause is. They just give it some random name and put you on some medication that actually doesn't cure the problem. It just covers the symptoms, okay? So you have to understand that there's a root cause of why this is happening to you. So understanding your body and your energetic system is another way to gain knowledge of self, because you actually have abilities to heal yourself, okay? When you heal your mind, you heal your emotions, your energy, you heal yourself. You can channel healing energy and heal yourself. You also need to be aware of the power of your sexual energy. You can't have knowledge of self without understanding the one, like, power, like your power source, okay? The power that you have in your body that is literally like the essence of your being and who you are. So when you have issues surrounding your sexuality, like your sexual organs, and things like that, you have to understand all the trauma that is stored there from your home life, your family life, your relationships, your emotions, okay? If you're following your passions or not. Like, it really plays a huge part in your overall experience, because in Chinese medicine, the sacral chakra, they call it the lower dantian, okay? So that is known as the essence, okay? That is your source of power. The kidneys, they're associated with the sacral chakra. It's known as your body's powerhouse, okay? The womb, okay, that is known for creation. It's an energy that is so important. All of your energy is important, but that is very important because we are creators, and that is your creative energy. You understand? So when you're manifesting, when you're healing, when you're producing, creating, your emotions, your joy, your passion, your pleasure, all the stuff that makes living worthwhile is all a part of your sacral chakra, okay? Aside from, you know, the heart, that's love, of course. But yeah, like, it is the essence of your soul. So understanding how powerful your sexual energy is another way of coming into awareness of self, okay? So is there anything else that I need to pretty much cover? I think I'm going to leave it there for now, because I just kind of touched on like the basics of coming into self-awareness. I might have like a part 2 or something like that in the future, but I just wanted to put this information out there. If you guys have any questions, or if you want to book a session, book a reading session, healing session, I mean, I have many tools available to kind of help remove some of these blockages so that you can get to that higher knowledge of self, that higher self-awareness. Just let me know, and I can definitely work something out. So on that note, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.